Alright, so I wanted to come in here real quick and showcase this little module, this little machine that I made right here. This is basically a three-stage crushing machine. I call it like a marble machine or whatever, but anyway, you input gravel in here, and let's get some gravel real quick. I mean not gravel, cobblestone. Get a few things of cobblestone, and it's gonna go through these crushing wheels right here, break it down into gravel. The gravel's gonna go in here and circle around, go upwards, go through this one. It's gonna break the gravel down in the sand. It's gonna go in here and circle around, loop up, and go to the top one, and get turned into dust. The whole purpose for this machine is because gravel is really useful, sand is useful, and so is dust useful for getting different products. So you see the items rolling around on the item grids. That's why I call it a marble machine, because it looks like marbles rolling around. Goes through the second set, gets turned into sand. Sand comes over here. Sand and flint comes out of this section right here, and clay as well. Gets sent up to here and goes into here and gets turned into dust, and you see it collecting right here. So I'm gonna break down some of the basic concepts of how I got this to actually work. It's pretty simple, but just to break it all down, first things first, I used encased chain drives. These right here connect. So these transfer power equally. It distributes the power equally. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna be it's a shaft system. These are belts with shafts inside of it. Of course, you can extend them upwards, no issue. And then if you put a gearbox on top of one of them, it'll cause the rotation to go in the opposite direction. The reason why I need that is for the crushing wheels. They have to be moving in opposite directions. So if I put a creative motor, if I attach a creative motor to this, it's gonna attach. No, let's go down here. Attach it down here. Alright, so get the little creative motor, and we're gonna attach it right here. And you see it gets to start. It starts to spin. Now anything that's gonna be inputted is gonna have to be inputted on the side where the wheels are spinning inwards, and then this will be the output on the other side. And as long as you have something going through here, it counts just like an inventory. So that's gonna crush down on all the different ores or whatever the stuff that you have, crush it down and whatever. Same thing over here. Say regular barrels, just like a regular chest or whatever. The item grade causes items to roll around on it if it's not something that you can drain. It's supposed to drain fluids out of buckets and stuff like that, but if it doesn't have that, it will just drain out. And then I have the andesite funnels pointing in a direction that the items are going to flow. So these andesite funnels are the way to pull items out of a chest or an inventory or whatever. So if I throw that in there, see all the items rolling and they're getting collected in here. The same way if I want to move items upwards, this is a real cheap way to move items upwards. So they're going so fast that you don't even see them, but they all ending up here. So these are all the basic principles of whatever that I use to actually make this work, and I just basically looped everything around, and this is basically already done. I got it in a small footprint, so for the most part it's 7x7. 7 blocks this way, 7 blocks this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks tall. So I try to do things that's chunk aligned or whatever. The chunk boundaries is everything that's actually running in your world. So if I leave these machines and I walk away a certain amount of distance, then these machines will start running. So the reason why it's important to keep it chunk aligned and chunked what's the name is that if I want to put a chunk loader in here, which is a machine that's basically gonna make it so when I walk away, these machines are gonna basically run forever. Doesn't matter where I'm at in the world. That's the whole purpose of this, you know. So, and you don't want to load too many different chunks. You want to load a couple chunks at a time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I try to make it small enough to fit inside of one chunk, so I can fit 4 modules in here. The whole purpose of I copied and pasted these basically in here to see if it fits properly. But I knew it was gonna fit anyway because it's 7x7. Forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, all I have to do is just basically wire them up and I'm good to go. I don't need all 3 layers. That's the other thing I was gonna say, because I essentially have to build this 3 times. Probably gonna build 2 for gravel and 1 for sand and 1 for dust. The 3-stage process is just to get dust. So if I wanted to get sand, I have to do 2 stages, cut off the top part, and that'll be sand. And if I wanted to get just gravel, it'll just be this level right here, just this one level right here. And that's all I really need. You know what I'm saying? Stick it inside of a chunk, call it a day. You know what I'm saying? Link up all my other machines to it. You know what I'm saying? This is specifically made for this cobblestone generator. I have a 2-module cobblestone generator solution that I made in my survival world or whatever. So that's for that. That's gonna link up to this and send all the gravel and everything that I need to this. And then this in part is gonna send all the gravel to the sifting stations that I have, these sifting machines that I have, and it's gonna be stored in here, so I'll be able to see it. You can see that's what I have in the system right now when I tested it out. And then basically I'm good to go. You know, and it's a nice little compact system that fits very nicely inside of a chunk. You know what I'm saying? It's nice. What's your name? I don't really want to use stone blocks or whatever, but I don't have my particular building block that I like, which is actually polished cobble deep slate. I like the way that block actually looks. You know what I'm saying? I like to build with that block. But yeah, that's what it is. That's what I wanted to showcase real quick. So this is the next thing I'm probably gonna work on. Most of this stuff is not too complex to make. Andesite funnels is just kelp and andesite alloy. This is the most expensive item. To get one of these, you're gonna need a copper casing, and you're gonna need copper with what's your name, which is not expensive to make this. Getting the copper is gonna be a problem because I have to do a lot of sifting, and these are iron bars. This is gonna be the most expensive thing out of everything, but I still have a way to generate iron easily. Yeah, in order to get these iron rods or whatever, you need a file to file down iron ingots. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much of an issue because I already have the infrastructure to set all of this up. That's the most complex thing in this whole thing, because I didn't want to use a lot of belts for this. You know what I'm saying? Because belts are gonna require more power. You know what I'm saying? It's like conveyor belts. It's gonna require more power. I already have a nice little decent power system. You know what I'm saying? This was my initial design or whatever for that. You know what I'm saying? But I was using millstones because it was a little bit cheaper to do, and this was the power system or whatever to power this. You know what I'm saying? This all works fine and dandy and everything, but I wanted a little bit smaller system, and that's what this represents basically. Smaller, more compact, and could do stuff a lot faster because I'm using crushing wheels, not the millstones. The millstones could do the same thing the crushing wheels do, but they do it a lot slower. This is meant for more early game. That's the reason why I have so many of them, because they crush slowly. So I was like, forget it. I'm gonna use just the crushing wheels, and as long as I'm running a decent amount of power to this, I'll be fine. You know, everything else is just gear ratios to speed it up. That's what this is right here. This entire little combination of blocks right here with all of these different gears. This is gear ratio. This speeds any machine up that you attach to it. So that's basically all I gotta do. You know, I might end up chopping off this top part right here of this module since I'm not using it, so I can use the power system. Because I have a little gear ratio right here. This is a vertical gear ratio going upwards. I can use that and just connect it to that and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? Have this as the power system underneath that. So that's probably the next thing I'm gonna work on, because the power system actually attaches down here at the bottom. These crusher wheels gonna take a lot of power. You know, this what its created motor is where the power system needs to connect to, and that's basically it. You know.